Puffer is on.
All right, acknowledging that puffer is on.
All right, we can 0 reps.
Control deck, stand by on power.
Copy, standing by.
What does that mean?
Confirming that we have communication with puffer.
Roger. Yeah, looks like the A-frame's not going out.
Control deck, we are going to go ahead and start moving the Atalanta out.
Copy that.
Okay.
Control deck, that's Atalanta away.
Copy, Atalanta away.
This is a voice slate for Dive Hotel 2052 at UTC 221300. Mark.
Bridge, back deck. If we can have somebody come down and turn the fans back on, please.
Okay, roger, will do.
I'm afraid those tiny fish have imprinted on Hercules. I think it's its mother.
Control, this is deck. I'll stop 50 meters. Control is being
I don't
sent.
know if they're imprinting so much as just
Copy.
looking for a
I'll
place
stop
to
at
hide.
50 meters.
No, we're not good yet. Just tell them not to run away. We have a ground fault, so don't run away. Yeah, thank you.
Alright, aloha everyone, and welcome to our 812 shift on our Nautilus expedition, Emamano Taifale 2. It's great to have everyone on board, and we continue with our expedition. Before we dive into today's test, let's go around the room for a quick round of robin.
Sorry, we're not quite
Oh,
ready for that.
yeah, okay, I'll just leave for later.
Yeah, we can hold on that for a minute,
Okay.
but I'll take a moment to describe what we're intending for this dive. We're at a place called Manua Ridge that's between Ta'u and Ofu Olosenga Islands. This is, well, we're not quite sure what the ridge looks like on the seafloor, but very likely capped with carbonate, but it's a volcanic constructional ridge between the islands that last erupted in 1866. That's over 100 years ago, but for geologically speaking, still active volcanic system. So we're going down. There's a number of volcanic centers that we can see in the bathymetric mapping that was done by NOAA ship Rainier. Probably half a dozen volcanic cones and craters along the ridge, and so we're going to go check one of those out. Be starting at a depth of around 800 meters, coming all the way up to maybe 100 meters or so.
wasn't good.
It looked like he's going for the fish. Row, row.
So we have a ground fault on the arm. That's what I'm fiddling with.
I see.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's go. You ready? Okay. Right. All right, so how deep is it here? Oh. 750. Oh, that was not it. Clear, clear.
So front row, you guys all set to go around and do introductions?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Fano can kick us off.
All right, thank you. So again, just gonna start with myself. Introduce yourself, their role, your role, and anything important for the shift. So my name is Setsufano Manga, and I'm serving as a Science Communication Fellow this leg of the Nautilus expedition, and my primary responsibility is to ensure a smooth communication with the team. And I'm looking forward to a successful, safe shift with all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Fano. I'm Adam Sewell. I'm from the University of Rhode Island. I'm the watch lead for 8 to 12, and I'm excited for this dive because it has some volcanic targets. That's my area of interest, is submarine volcanism. Val?
Talofa, I'm Val Brown. I am sitting in the science chair, but my day job is as the research coordinator for the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa. And I am just thrilled to go down and see what is on the seafloor between Ta'u and Olusenga today. Erica.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Leon Guerrero, and on board I am an ocean science intern. For this shift, I'm a data logger. Can't wait to see what we'll see on the ocean floor.
Where's that coming from?
I think it's Erica's mic. We'll adjust that.
I'll fix it.
Johan.
Yeah, I'll take it up. Hey everyone, I'm Johan Becker. I'm the navigator on this shift, 8 to 12. Off the ship, I'm a graduate student in ocean engineering at the University of Rhode Island.
Hey, this is Robert Waters. I'm sitting in the Herc pilot seat. I'm OET's facility manager and ROV engineer. Yeah. Pass it on.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Esteban Juan. I am the ROV intern aboard Nautilus. I am also in charge of being the Atalanta pilot. And yeah, Just excited to be here.
Hi, Dave Robertson, lead video engineer for this expedition, sitting in the video seat
That's
today.
concerning.
And
It shouldn't.
I've been on Nautilus
That's
since
weird.
2016, and happy to be here. Back to you.
All right, thank you everyone contributing your introductions for this shift, and I think we have like less than 30 more minutes into the blue sea before the next shift.
Can I see this?
Yep, this is, one of the things that happens when you do this watch schedule is sometimes you get on and all you get to see is blue water. But luckily this dive we expect to be around 15 to 19 hours. So we'll be back in here right on hopefully the most exciting parts of the dive. On our last dive, where we were closer to Attila, we went up a ridge and saw some amazing walls of pillow basalts that were covered with some really great biology, corals, sponges, crinoids, anemones, and some stuff. One of the highlights from that one was a particular bamboo coral called a candelabra. That must be the common name for it. That really did look like a candelabra that was just recently described. So seeing it here means that we know that its range extends at least to this part of the ocean. So very cool.
We lost our little fish escorts, and since we're in the middle of the day, we're not seeing much yet here at about 220 meters. But hopefully we'll start seeing some things.
Yeah, it's doing screen grabs.
Well, that's okay. Good that it's working, because I couldn't figure out how to make the toggle timer intervalometer work before, but now I can see what it looks like in its working state.
That's that. Dave don't care about those things. Ah.
Setefano, you want to tell people about where we are diving today in between Ta'u and, or maybe about the islands themselves between Ta'u and Ofu Olasenga?
Yeah, well, I would just say, so American Samoa consists of 7 different islands. So we were at our first stop. We were at closer to Tutuila, and Tutuila, it's like proximity to Onu'u, close to Onu'u. So those are our first two islands, and then we're now here on our second stop. So we're in between 3 islands, Ta'u and Olusenga. So which are the next 2? Adds up to 4, and then Olusenga is connected with the bridge to Ofu. So that consists of 5, and then hopefully after this discovery, we'll be able to transit to other 2 sites of Swains Island and Rose Island, which consist of 7 islands here in American Samoa.
Yeah.
But this is my first time getting closer to the Monua Islands.
Really?
Yes.
This is your first time to Manua?
Yes, this
That's
is my
so
first
exciting.
time. Yes, it's very exciting. So I don't know any much but as those are common things that I know about with Manua. So Manua consists of 3 islands: Ta'u, Olosenga, and Ofu.
I was going to ask you if you jumped off the bridge between Ofu and Olasenga, but I guess not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So these islands are the easternmost inhabited islands in American Samoa. So not a lot of people living out there, but both islands are beautiful. We woke up this morning and everyone was very pleased to see what we could see in between these 2 islands. They both have tall mountains that shoot straight up into the air, and those extend down. And all of these are volcanic islands, so we're going down to look at this ridge that runs in between Olasenga and Ta'u, and excited to see what we're going to see when we get down here. We're about halfway down to the bottom at this point, so a little bit further to go. In the shallower waters around Ta'u, we actually, at the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa, we're the home to some of the largest known shallow water corals in the world. One of them is known as Big Mama. It is a Porites coral that is over 20 feet tall and about 420, I'm forgetting my stats right now, 420 feet around, and is over 500 years old. So not quite as old as some of the oldest deep water corals, but very old for a shallow water scleractinian coral.
So Val, for the audience at home, not for me at all, Porites, what does that look like?
Porites is a big, massive boulder coral. So they have very tiny polyps. They look very smooth and kind of uniform over the top. And we think that there are, I forget what the estimate was. I want to say something like, I can't remember if it was 4 million or 4 billion polyps on Big Mama.
Wow.
It's a lot of polyps. Literally a whole wall of mouths.
And has that ever been cored?
Yes, yes. So there was a core through the middle of Big Mama, and that's how we know that that coral is at least 500 years old, maybe older than that.
Mm-hmm.
And the core, they're able to take the center of the coral skeleton, and each year the coral secretes a certain amount of skeleton, and you can actually see the bands with the season and then date those using some, I want to say they used a CT scan of it to look at those bands.
Yeah, so you can date it kind of like a tree ring kind of thing, but there's other kind of radiogenic isotopes that get incorporated into the coral skeleton, so you can use like uranium to date it. It's really difficult measurements to make, but it has been useful because just like a tree ring can tell you about, or a tree core, when you go back in the rings, can tell you about past climate when that tree was growing, coral can be used to tell you about things like ocean chemistry and ocean temperature back through history. So really valuable scientifically.
Yes, you're exactly right. So they did use the core to look at that. So there's a paper by Tangri et al. That describes the cores and what they found with that. And it's kind of interesting. What they found is that Tahu seems to lay in the El Nino neutral zone. So we think that might be part of the secret to the resilience of American Samoa's shallow water corals, is that our location just buffers us a little bit from the impacts of El Nino and La Nina. It'd be interesting to see if we find similar findings with other corals in the future.
Hey, Johan, I got the HiPAC screen up back here. Would you mind zooming out just to show me the whole dive track? That's cool. All right.
We'll send that out on Sat3 for people to see at home.
That's great. So
if you want to talk through that a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're looking at the bathymetric map where the colors indicate the depth of water. So up in the warmest colors, we're in kind of 100 meters, and in the cooler colors, 800 meters or so. And those lines on there are contour lines, so lines of constant depth, and they're separated by 10 meters. So the crosses indicate the waypoints, so the track that we'd like to take with the ROV. And at the bottom of the map, you can see this horseshoe shape. That's the volcanic cone. The north side of that cone collapsed, and you can see like a slide-looking thing, a chute that runs down from that. So that's probably a remnant of that collapse. So we're going to cross across that channel, take a look at that material, and then we're going to head up south on this map, but up in depth, the kind of east ridge of this cone, and then we'll make some jaunts inside the crater out and back up to the ridge. The ridge is where we expect to see the most biology. It's where the greatest current flow will be, and the organisms tend to congregate there because high current means more food for them as they're filter feeders. And we're also hoping to see some really interesting geology, both in that channel and then in the wall of this volcanic cone, or the crater of the cone. This particular area was suggested by our colleagues at the Hawaii Volcanoes Observatory in the USGS, who've been working out in this area trying to understand the volcanic history, and as is their mission, the volcanic hazards in these islands. So as I said before, this system last erupted in 1866. That was accompanied by eyewitness or documented by eyewitness accounts of steam coming from the ocean, ash being produced, a fish kill, so dead fish washing up on shore, and discolored water. So it's going to be a really exciting dive.
I am completely in awe of Bob's ability to move that arm around like that. So many different movements and flexing with the arm there. How long did it take you to learn how to work those controls?
I think Bob is off comms right now and doing a little troubleshooting.
Busy. That's true.
That's probably true. We'll just assume that he spent a lot of time in the arcade at the claw machine.
I'm sure it's a little more difficult than the claw machine. That one seems to have a lot more options, articulations, movements.
Although when you think about it, kind of a high-tech ocean claw machine, right? We drop down a wire with an arm on the end of it and hope to recover amazing scientific samples, you know?
Well, and you guys did on the last ad. You got some amazing rocks, and we got some paragorgia, some bamboo coral, some hemicoralia. So see what prizes we collect this dive. What's on your wish list for this dive, Adam?
Rocks, of course, but rocks containing fresh glass. So when lava is erupted into seawater, the seawater quenches it, and instead of forming kind of the tiny crystals that make up most rocks, it just quenches into glass, and that glass is great for analyzing the chemistry because it traps everything in suspension, basically.
That sounds really fascinating. How do you get the gas that's trapped? How do you access it?
The gas? I said glass. So.
Oh, I thought you said there was gas inside of the glass.
Well, there actually is, and there's a very unusual case where the glass can have trapped so much gas that when you bring it up, it pops on the deck. So there's something called popping rocks.
Oh.
And I did some work out at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and looking for these particularly gassy rocks, and you bring them up on deck, and you have to put covers on them because they pop and shoot little chips around, and to prevent contamination, you have to put them under cover so they don't move samples between different bins.
Wow, popping rocks. Do you think any of these would be like that?
Probably not. But the samples we have collected so far did have a lot of gas bubbles in them, or vesicles as we call them. So the gases that are in these rocks coming from the Earth's interior are mostly water and CO2, and minor amounts of fluorine, chlorine, sulfur.
think I saw on screen as we were talking for a little bit, a few
You have to,
organisms there. I
you
think
have
we
to check with the
passed
pilot
through.
because if the pilot's in auto XY and you reset the position, you go whoosh, flying off.
Seeing a few critters here.
Yeah, getting close to the seafloor, about 40 meters off the bottom at this point.
And these might be some of our deeper layer,
Okay.
deeper midwater animals that
Okay.
are
You want to come all stop there?
Yeah.
hiding from predators during the day. Look very similar to what we saw during our nighttime descent.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Who's going to see
Yeah,
the
just
bottom
leave it.
first?
Just leave it.
I think the next watch is going to see the bottom first.
I don't know, we're awful close.
Yeah, but I think we've come to a stop potentially. So we're not moving when the next watch comes in to take over.
Gotcha.
Although, yeah, we are seeing the bottom. There we go.
There we go, the bottom. We made it.
Yeah, just come down a bit. Just let me get her flipped around here.
Always so gratifying when we finally see the seafloor. That's true. No one in the world has seen this bit of seafloor.
Yeah.
You guys get to have the first chance to explore it. So we are coming on our watch change. So there'll be a little bit of a break in some of our communications as we pass over to our next watch, get them oriented. As you can see, we just are reaching the seafloor now, and this looks like it will be an exciting dive to explore the ridge in between Ta'u and Ofu Olasinga. Is it okay if I start multi-puffer? Oh.
Hang on.
Okay. I'm going to start multi-pumper pump 2, Erica, before we log off. Got it. And pump 2 is running.
Hey all, back row, do you guys have your shift change complete?
No, still waiting on Chris for data logger.
We're kind of getting there.
Okay.
1 out of 4 ain't bad. I'm making up for lost time from the last one.
Hey Erica. Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay, we'll do some operational stuff up here while we're waiting on the back row.
Yep. Bell and Stefano are just doing their handover, and Val and Mary too.
Okay.
Also,
So Chris, I don't know if it was passed to you, but the arm is out of commission. It's closer to working, but it's still a little bit too dangerous to the vehicle.
Okay. Starboard arm, you mean?
Starboard arm, yeah.
Okay.
oh, and Gabby, just to confirm, because the arm is out of commission, are we not going to be able to put the manipulator arm in the white balance?
Yeah, no white balance today.
Gotcha.
Well, let me see if I can look over enough. I have never tried.
Okay, sounds good.
It's such a small percentage of the screen,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that, unfortunately.
Can't,
it's okay.
Can't perform miracles.
Yeah. That's all right, though. I'll just manually adjust white balance, but thanks.
Okay.
So, Megan, on my version of the height plan screen, all I
Yes.
have is a first waypoint and a ridge at the summit. Do you have other waypoints on your version of the map?
Yeah, I have all my waypoints. Which one are you looking at? Are you looking at survey or plan?
No, I was looking at plan.
Look at survey.
Oh, that's far superior. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew there was something going.
Okay, I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit. What's our direction of travel here?
We are going to go... looks like 125.
And if
Unless we're going direct, do we need to go to exactly waypoint
No, the main thing is, you see, right at the start, we're going to go over that feature in the topography.
Yeah, this little hump.
Yeah, so Adam just wanted to check out what that meant geologically.
Okay.
And then we're going to go uphill, so we could cut the corner to...
Yeah, I was just going to head straight towards waypoint 2.
Why don't we head towards waypoint 2?
Okay.
Yes,
we feel
actually.
like we've gone over that
and
feature?
yeah, get yourself a 125 heading, and then I can do what I'm doing without putting wraps in the tether. So you're going to want to, yep, you're going the right direction.
53. Not yet.
Yes, if we set off towards waypoint 2, Megan, and then once we feel like we know we've gone over that feature, we can always cut the corner and head towards waypoint 3 instead if it's...
Okay.
If it's not biologically rewarding, I think it's going to be past waypoint 3 is when we expect the ridge to get rocky and there might be a lot more creatures to see.
Okay.
Okay, so this first bit is expected to be smooth for a little bit, and we're looking for a place where it's going to get rocky?
There's a little lump. If you look on Megan's screen,
Yeah,
almost
it looks,
immediately,
it should be about 70 to 80 meters away.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like this weird ridge.
Okay.
Yeah. And we want to see what that looks like in real life on the seafloor.
Okay. Do you if you move So when you do this, you are going to be keeping a close eye on that screen there. You want to stay out in front of Atalanta. I'm going to continually look in the right direction, and you're going to try and stay on that screen. You don't, so you could just start driving forward. You're in auto alt and auto head, and you can just start driving forward. Yep, absolutely.
All right, ready for a ship move?
Yeah, keep slow.
All right, 30 meters all right?
Yep.
Bridge nav.
So you're basically driving by a couple screens.
Hi, Paul.
The Atalanta screen
We are
and
ready
the DOP
for
DVL nav
a
screen.
ship move.
And so you have laterals, which means just pushing to the side. And the laterals have a lot less oomph. Yeah. Yeah, try and move towards the center of the Atalanta screen. And you can do that with your laterals. Yeah, yes, absolutely. For this kind of like trying to get where you're going stuff, I fly way more by the Atalanta screen than I do by the HD screen. So don't go any more out in front. Oh, that was just a tug on Atalanta. You're fine. You don't need to apologize. I can come down to correct that a little bit. Don't go any more out in front. Just go laterally. So there's sort of a bit of an art to this sort of moving like over long distances stuff where you don't want to get too far out in front. And that's why I do that zigzag thing that I showed you the other day, is so that I don't get too far out in front, but we keep seeing new stuff.
Oh, jeez.
No, I might do it by lateraling. It just depends.
No.
Yeah. I don't see anything on the sonars right now. Hold on one second. You can't probably go much farther forward. We're sort of waiting. The ship is moving, but slowly.
But there's a cool fish.
Yeah. So you can sort of, you're going to have this temptation to keep moving forward. That's like sort of the thing that happens. But resist and move laterally or backwards.
Okay, now that we have all our team here, is it okay if we can kickstart our ship with a quick introduction? Anybody object? All right.
I'm ready.
Sweet. Talofa, Mixamoa, Talofa Lalangi Atoa, Ya Olo Ingo Isabel Halituituia, Fai Masuile Captain Neiva'a. Welcome ai oto, mata sila mai moa. Ia o mātou nei, o au tafa, actually in between o ta'u ma o senga. Ia, o le unga luenga le nei waa o le ngofo lea ka o le Science Communication Fellow. E share ai ma whalai loa i tato tangata le feeling ma le mea lo o silsila ngai TV nei. So, once again, talofa, pulavinaca, malo elele, kia orana, ali. I am Isabel Halatuituia from American Samoa, and I am sitting in the Science Communication Fellow seat. And we are second shift of the day from noon to 4. And I'd like to pass this time over to my right to introduce himself.
Welcome everybody, this is Chris German. I am going to be your watch lead for the next few hours.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary Burkett-Gray and I'm going to be helping out with science on this dive.
And hi everybody, my name is Chris Bryan. I am in the data logger seat for this shift.
And who's in the front row today?
Up in the front row, you have your navigator, Megan Putz. In the Herc seat, we have Rye as driving for the first time, right?
Woohoo!
And Gabby is sitting in the Atalanta seat.
And hi everyone, in the corner, I'm Samantha and I'm the video engineer for this watch.
And today we are driving over seafloor that has never been seen by human eyes before.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yep, there is a little bit. I've seen some of the chat from science ashore. Later on we're hoping to find some rocky outcrops and collect some samples. And if we do, it'll be the first study in almost my lifetime. The last time papers were published on the rocks around here was 1968, I learned.
Oh, wow.
So, was anybody else in the van here in 1968, or is it just me and the rocks? Just me and the rocks, okay. I'm young by geological timescales.
It's such an honor to be here. I've been on Ta'u Island, Ofu Olosenga, but I've never seen this before, so it's an honor to be here with you guys.
It's an honor to have you.
All ours, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ta'u and Olosenga? What are on the islands?
Obviously people, but a lot of locals, but a lot of buildings too, empty houses, because a lot of people migrate to the main island.
Yeah.
Or they go off island to search for new opportunities and whatnot. So it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The locals on these islands, they rely heavily on the ocean and the land, so it's very important. And I hope they're tuning in to actually see what's on their backyard,
Right.
yeah?
Yeah, especially whoever's waters these are, right? With that close to land, that there's going to be matais that this is their tribal waters, right?
I mean, you see little kids, high school kids, fishing 5 in the morning,
Wow.
5 in the evening.
Are there schools on the islands? I don't even know if there's enough people to support schools, but
Manua Islands consist of 3 islands.
yeah.
Ta'u being the largest. There are 3 schools, Faleasao, Fitiuta, and then the high school is Manua High School. And then on Ofu and Olosenga, there's I think it's called Olosenga, I could be wrong, elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those kids and teachers on island.
So when the children reach high school age, do they get a boat across from one island to the other, or do they stay on the island during where the high school is during the week?
Yeah,
And then
so I
go
think
home on
they
the weekend?
moved to their families at
Okay,
the other
yeah.
island or
Where the high
to
school is?
Tooele. Yeah.
Adam, since we have the pleasure of your company,
Yeah.
The geologic feature we're going to go over, do you have a feel for how high it's going to be, or how much of a drop
Just
we might
nice and
expect?
slow.
Yeah,
for these sorts of surveys.
It's going to be pretty gentle, probably a couple meters in elevation.
Okay.
But the fact that you can see it from the ship-based bathymetry, it's probably going to be a little sharper than we see it because the ship kind of smoothed it out. Yeah.
But okay, but the order of a few meters, less than 5 meters probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking for little rat tail fish.
Yeah, we saw one, I think, earlier that was like a light-colored one, yeah?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different species of rat tail. Do you see that sort of shiny thing in the middle? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a thing. Yeah, it could be a fish. Oh yeah, that's totally a fish.
Oh, maybe we could
let's go
do a
look at
little
the fish.
zoom.
So if you want to zoom in your current setup, you would center it up, and then you have to center it up on the camera, and then you have to ask video for a zoom.
Just above the little brake grill on the basket on the front.
You could, or you could back up.
It's about a third of the way
And
up.
it's probably better practice-wise to back up. Because when you're trying to shoot nice even video, you don't want to be panning because it's very jerky. So that looks good. You could ask for a zoom now.
So it's either Megan is a
Sure
really good
thing.
observer, or
Zoom
it's
again.
the fact that she's sitting 3 feet closer to the screen than us. That's why she can see this stuff, right?
I don't know if that's the case.
I think.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, so that is not a rat tail.
It's not a rat tail fish. It's a fish.
A fish.
Yeah, with the fish tail, not a rat tail.
Does it have a little green on top? That's
Yeah,
cool.
it does look like it has a little bit of green. It could be like, it doesn't look quite right for a green eye.
Going back to
which
wide.
also has that look to it. What's the family? It's a perch-like fish. And I can't remember the family that one is in.
It's cool how when we zoom in, it has that green color, and now you zoom back, and it's completely camouflaged.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
like invisible?
Goes right into the.
You would think that green stuff would be would make it stand out against the background, but
It helps it blend more. That was a great zoom.
And so the seafloor we're looking at is mostly sediment. That's the light colored stuff. That's the material raining down from above. But there is all this black material, which I think is probably volcanic material that's coming down the slope and settling on top.
Sure.
Oh, there's another one of those fish.
Oh, look at that.
that's pretty.
So right now your heading is set on a max speed of 10 degrees a second, which is quite fast actually. I've seen people use 4 or 5. So you're still not at a speed that's like comparable to not having auto head on, but you can get a good turn out of it. No? Shaking where?
Can we?
So if you're looking at upper and lower, is that where you're seeing the shaking? Yeah, they're jerky right now, and I'm working on it with Matt Koskela. They're just like that. Oh, that would be hitting something probably, but that seems unlikely.
It's flat.
Can we do a zoom on that fish since we're here? That's okay.
Are you pulling on your tether? No, you're not
Nope.
pulling on your tether, so. There's nothing in the sonar. I didn't see
It
any
could be
rocks.
just a little rock. It's okay. I don't see anything to indicate that we have a problem yet. Lost the fish.
I think it's just
okay.
It's in there just keeping still. Not quite
It was
sure where
probably the
is
same
now.
kind of fish.
Yeah. Okay.
So keep moving on ahead. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere.
Does Rye mind having her mic live just so we can hear what she's saying?
Sorry, do you want me on SPL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No
Okay.
worries.
Now the key to transiting like this
Yeah.
is you don't want to fall behind whatever you do.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to keep on top of that.
Yeah. I see
And the stakes
There it is.
are low
Right.
because we're shallow and we're moving the ship slowly. But you start to go a little faster or a little steeper, and
Yeah.
the stakes get quite a bit higher.
Okay. So I'll get out a bit ahead, and then if we see another fish, we'll take a look.
And that's a great strategy.
Yeah, we'll take another 30-meter move, 125. Thanks.
There's something going across.
Oh,
Right in the
there's
center of
fish.
the picture now.
Do we wanna-
That's one of those little rat tail fish.
Okay.
Do we have, I guess, judgment call? Do we have time to look at that guy? Or yeah, okay.
Yeah, you've got
See if
plenty
I
of time.
Back up a little bit.
Depends how fast it's moving. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, but it'll take a little while. You've got plenty of time.
Yeah. Video, can we go to Zoom?
Can do.
Sorry, talk.
Yeah, if you can't get it perfectly centered, you can always ask for a half zoom.
Yeah, okay.
But video with like good instincts will sort of understand what like the amount of zoom that's going to be appropriate to frame the picture, right?
Video, can we go wide?
Yeah, can do.
Sorry, I'm not trying to talk over you. I'm just
No, you're going to end up talking over people in the
focusing.
van. For sure.
On the fact that I'm almost out from Atalanta. All right. Okay. I see.
Yeah, so the boxes are 10 meters.
Yeah. No, in my brain when I left that seat, Atalanta was looking almost straight down, and so I forgot that you're probably looking out ahead.
I'm
not-
looking out now.
I'm not.
So you're not so bad.
Yeah,
You're not as bad
okay.
as you thought.
Perfect. What's that?
So,
Let's
Adam,
look over
according to
here a little
the
bit.
high-pack survey, we should be pretty much... Adam's gone offline.
Yeah, it sounds like, it
We should
looks
be just
like
coming up
we're
this
on the
now. We
feature.
should be- yeah, we're just
but-
about there if you have 5 more minutes of your life to spare.
Sorry, was that a request for me to do anything? Or?
Nope.
Oh no, it just, on the map it looks like we're at this weird little bridge feature,
okay.
but we're not seeing it
I was
here.
just catching our chief scientist because he was about to leave.
But sometimes
told him
these
we might be about to get
things
there.
that you see on the map don't translate very well
Yeah.
into, large scale actual formations.
You know-
Kind of like walking up, oh, there's an urchin up
Yeah,
there.
I'm
Because
going
like
straight
I've
for
never
him.
seen a dragon on the seafloor or even in the ocean, but I've seen
Maybe.
hibby dragons on a lot of maps, and they're still waiting.
You haven't seen your dragon yet?
Not yet.
Oh, remember when we
Seen some good
got that little
seahorses.
dragonfish on Herc last year?
Can we go for
Did
Zoom
you-
video?
Going for
That's
Zoom.
kind of cool.
Ooh, is that one of those round spiky dragons?
Look at that.
UFO crash landed.
No, it's
You
one
heard
of
it
the
here first.
scales. It's just one of the scales
Ah,
of a dragon
yeah.
they left behind.
Sorry,
I wonder if it's the
This
same
is your
color as
breakfast.
yesterday's. It must be the same dragon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're right. It is the same family of urchins, the Echinotheridae, the pancake urchins.
Alright. Does it have boots?
It should have boots.
Right.
Alright, can we zoom out video?
Nav, can you give us a DVL reset?
Yes.
Is that a little piece of trash there off to the...
It looks like a rock. Oh yeah, let's...
it might be trash.
You want to zoom in video?
Zooming in.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a weird rock.
Yeah.
Out in
And
the
there's
middle
like,
of nowhere.
and it hasn't left a trail rolling down the hill to
Alright,
get there.
zoom out
either.
video.
That's weird.
Yeah. That's cool.
How are we doing? Okay.
Have you checked all your rocks? None of them are missing after that storm last night? Oh, look, there's more on the right as well.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah, let's see.
Huh, so maybe this feature on the map.
Yeah, it
Is
could
going to
be, it could be like kind of a levee of, you know, bigger material pushed aside by the flow.
Is this us right now?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm probably hitting that rock.
So we're just coming over there.
But what's
Your altitude right now is 2 meters.
During the,
Oh,
on the way
okay,
down.
so it shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
This is kind of,
And one of
that
the
was
things you'll start
on
to
the way
pick
down
up on
the
is
seafloor, and then this is
how
actually
the
this is
shadows
ship
help you
arriving.
figure out how far off the bottom you are.
And so we've just been coming this way.
So if I'm doing heading changes
So I
and
think that's
Herc is kind of snapping back, that's probably
Atalanta, and that's
current, or?
So we just kind of,
It tends to oscillate around the goal a little bit, especially when you've just made a change.
See that little fish?
Trying to
Yeah,
look at
there's
action.
a rat tail.
that's us. But that's
I mean,
the camera.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're totally like,
That's sort of the
I know.
dynamics of the
my
system.
brain is
You put an
entirely
input in
the
and you
ROV
get
on
an
the seafloor,
oscillation.
and
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
on the ship anymore when I'm in this van.
You wanna... Here, sorry. I'm trying to practice getting better at giving you guys good zoom.
What kind of fish is that?
You want to zoom
Megan?
video?
We're
Sounds
gonna do
good.
a zoom, find out. It might be a halosaur.
Halosaur. I love that.
Oh,
That
that's
sounds
a
like
cool
a
one.
dragon.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in a little bit more, but I'll stay a little bit wide. So
Yeah, it looks like it. So the halosaurs, they have that sort of duck bill kind of face with these pectoral fins that pitch up kind of like little wings.
Is it swimming backwards?
It's just
Drifting, right?
kind of trying to hold position probably in the current. So these fish have these long tapered body forms because that leads for more efficient swimming. And so this one's just sort of gently holding its position.
Alright,
Sometimes
go
you see them
wide
kind
video,
of
go
drifting and they're vertical.
Oh yeah, they do all sorts of those silly things.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess I'm noticing that we're seeing more of the volcanic cover on the sediment. We're seeing less of the cream color,
Yeah,
more of the
it's
dark
getting
color.
darker, right? Do you remember a few years ago, Adam, when we did that dive off the coast of Hawaii at the ocean entry?
Yes.
For the fresh lavas? I was amazed just by how much of the black ash there was there that kind of overwhelmed everything else on the seafloor.
Yeah.
What's this?
Oh, that might be a sponge.
It's kind of
It's
like
kind of white.
a pock-marking texture to the seafloor as well here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's actually two somethings, I think.
I wonder if that was always there and it's just the
There's one
dark
that's
and
closer
light
to the center
coloration
of our
is helping
frame
that.
right now. If you wanna
Yeah, or bioturbation.
Alright, you want to zoom video?
zooming in.
Actually, yeah, because you can get
Sea
like a thing called
cucumber.
upward pumping.
Yeah.
That if you do
So-
have biology
Nice.
disturbing sediment,
If I
the
tilt
fine
the
grain stuff
HD
sinks
up,
down and the core stuff gets left
Yep.
behind.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
this should help them, right?
Oh, and look at that sponge.
centered,
It's
or-
found the only rock in the area.
If you actually tilt it right, a few things, but it's probably going to work better to do it by flying it.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're just going to keep chasing it with the tilt, and then you're going to end up with this camera that's facing a weird direction,
okay.
and you're going to be disoriented.
So it's fine to, like, obviously when it's flat and there's not
Yeah, just keep...
obstacles, you can fly while you're
Yeah,
zoomed just a little bit?
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how you get really nice like pirouettes, and you can sort of drift along.
Yeah, okay.
The best way to get a good zoom is to do zero flying, to go hands off.
Yeah. That's what I'm...
But you can't always get away with that. So what you try and do is set up to leverage the current the best you can.
Yeah.
And, yep. So yeah, you do. Okay, we just...
All right, Megan, what do you got here? What kind of sponge is that?
Can we zoom a little bit more?
Yeah. Okay with that?
I want to look at the center of the sponge. It has a big osculum, which means it has a hole in the middle. And they use that to help it filter water. It's probably a euplectellid sponge, one of those sort of softer sponges. And it's rooted onto that one little cobble. But some sponges do root into the sediment. So the other option it could be is hyalinema.
Do those ones have all the kind of fine hairs that go down into the sediment?
Yeah, they have special spicules that help them root into the sediment. So it's a glass sponge, which means that its skeletal structure is made up of shards of glass, so actual silica.
Is it commonly found in the Pacific Islands?
Yeah, there are lots of different types of glass sponges all around the Pacific. At different depths, we have different species. But yeah, glass sponges are quite common in the deep sea.
Do you know if anyone's seen like more than one of the sea cucumbers in the same place at the same time yet?
Oh yeah, we've definitely seen more than one of those sea cucumbers in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them in other places where you kind of get areas that are like, there's a bunch of them, but I was just thinking on this cruise so far, I've been seeing like one and then we go along and then see another one. But
that's pretty much how it goes for sea cucumbers. They don't generally congregate, but you could have some where they're nearby each other. Yeah, for sure.
I've seen them roaming in herds across the seafloor in the Cayman Islands.
Right.
You get like 20 of them all in the same field of view at once.
Wow.
It really depends on where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, some areas are much more heavily cucumbered than others. Like the California coast has quite a few.
There's more of these rock fragments, Adam.
Yeah.
Just let me know if you want to look at any of them.
I think we're okay. We got a fair bit of ground to cover, so...
Yeah, and Megan, you can keep those moves coming.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as we keep going, Adam, whether we just go back into the more tan sediment and leave this dark gravelly stuff and rock fragments behind.
Yeah, have we passed over the edge of that channel?
I think Atalanta's kind of getting there and Herc is part way by the look of it.
Just gonna get more centered. Is there a waypoint I'm going to, or we just...
Is that just a rock at the top of the screen at the moment?
It's actually kind of far away, so it's
over
here.
I just wasn't sure if I was missing.
No, you're good. Oh, that
might be worth zooming on this rock as we come up to it, just to see what's living on it.
Video,
if there's anything attached.
Go for zoom. Going for zoom.
Bridge nav.
What's the little orange thing? What's that?
Yeah, that's a little squat lobster, I think.
You see that, Megan? Sorry.
It looks like there's some barnacles.
Better.
There's a little squat lobster.
Is that what that is, the orange colored
one? Yeah, the little orange fellow is a squat lobster, and there's a couple brittle stars, I think.
Is that barnacles on the bottom left of that?
I don't see barnacles.
Is that a little sea star on the dark gravel to the right of the rock?
It's a brittle star.
Brittle star.
Yeah.
Ophiuroid.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Okay, zoom out video. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh
Say
yeah.
that again, Belle?
You fired the... Yeah, we should put the lasers on if they're not grounded, yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah,
more
let's...
in view.
So if you're trying to get like somewhere with the laterals and you're finding that you're not actually able to do it, it's because the laterals have just so much less power. Like if you look at them, they're smaller thrusters.
Yeah.
They have so much less power than the other thrusters that if you're fighting current and the laterals aren't getting you there, turn and you can actually, and you'll just jet right there.
Right, okay.
When you're using the axials, you have a lot more jam.
So turn into the current if you're having
yeah,
issues,
if you're having
is what
trouble.
you're
It looks
saying.
like you're doing just fine with the laterals as you
Yeah,
are.
I'm just going to get out ahead of you.
Chris, what do we expect to find on this dive?
Well, the beauty of it is this is somewhere we've never been before, or nobody on the planet has ever been before. So we can't actually know. It's true exploration, but the kind of combinations of things what we have is we do have a nice chart from prior visits to this area. So we know we're going to be working our way up a slope that we think is probably going to be mostly sedimented, but then there's going to be what we think should be a rocky ridge coming down the slope towards us, so we're going to pick that up. And then as we go further up slope, there's like a horseshoe shape, which we think might be a volcano that had a crater in it, and then the downhill wall of the crater has fallen away. So we'll actually drive into the center of the volcano and then take a left and go up the crater wall. And then as we go up from there, then we'll go up to what we think is going to be a carbonate ridge that connects across from the island. And by then we can probably see, well, it depends what time of day we get there, but we'll be shallow enough that we would be in daylight. And we're going to get...
Is that a sponge? Sorry.
Looks like a...
Is that one of those fish hangings vertically?
No, I think it's a coral, maybe.
Zooming in.
It does look like a coral.
Yeah.
Probably
like
a bamboo coral.
Yeah.
Got a little blue fish.
Oh, and a little
And
fish.
Yeah,
and a
that
fish.
one's a Ventra fossa.
And an
And what's that
orange
behind it? What's the orange blob?
An anemone?
Yeah?
It's a whole ecosystem in one coral.
Oh, maybe it's a primnoid. I don't know. I can't see the polyps well enough. I think it's a primnoid, not a bamboo. So unbranched primnoid. In 2017, we collected a new species of unbranched primnoid from this area, but it was deeper.
Yep.
But this could be something new.
Are those commonly called whip corals, or?
The shape is whip, but there's a bunch of different families that have whip-like corals. So black corals can come in whips, bamboo corals can come in whips, primnoid corals come in whips. Generally, the primnoid ones that are unbranched don't grow as long as, say, like the bamboo corals, which can be meters long.
So, Adam, I just have to note, Herc has basically just come past that topographic feature, and the sediment's gone pretty light-colored again just here.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to stay that way or not. Looks like there's still some dark stuff ahead, but... Maybe it's going to be that everything before that feature, if it's like the wall of a chute. Is there another feature like this, like further over to the east?
Yes.
And this could be a channel we're driving up, so the channel's got more of the dark stuff in it?
Yeah, and it could be that lighter colored stuff is just slightly more sloped than the stuff around, so the heavier stuff kind of falls off of it.
Yeah.
It looks like there might be some structure in the floor ahead on the left, or maybe that's just different colors.
Not seeing anything on the sonars. But
No. Yeah, I think it's just different color patches.
So I'm going to add in another input into your brain.
Okay.
If you have the space for it.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's try it.
The sonars.
Okay.
Just the two. Just worry about the mesos for now.
Yeah.
So the one on the left is Atalanta, as you know, and the one on the right is Herc.
Yep.
What information are you getting from them right now when you look at them?
That upslope is to my right.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you start to see some hard returns, that means we've got something interesting coming. You know how to read them.
Yeah.
I use them a ton for this type of transit too.
Okay. We're mostly just trying to stay head uphill?
It can be that way. If it's a video transect, that might be a goal.
Yeah, okay.
If it's not a video transect, you're just kind of trying to travel in a way that works for you and the vehicles and the geometry of the situation. But it's make that a regular input into your Atalanta, Herc, screen sort of loop that you do with your brain.
Just for reference, I have been watching that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Just out of habit.
Okay, cool. That's excellent.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
You know, and back in 2022, the locals around these islands, felt a lot of tremors, earthquakes and stuff.
Oh, really?
So maybe, yeah. So
yeah,
they were, I think it was towards the same time when Tonga.
Oh, yeah, when that big eruption happened.
So people were curious if there was another volcano here in
Right,
between.
might have been something disrupting things on the seafloor.
So I'm pretty excited.
If nothing else, it might have shooken some sediment loose from further upslope that came down.
Yeah, that
do you want to look down a little bit?
Seismic swarm was basically straight north of
You can just look down if you want to be that high.
And they don't know whether the earthquakes were shallow or deep.
Can we check out that coral ray?
But it very likely is related to either subsidence of the island or movement of magma that's still underneath the island.
Those ones are always hard to see.
So it's not around this
area.
area.
That looks like
Oh, no, it is. Yeah.
It's not far away, right?
All right, let me just get a
So that's like within 10 miles or so?
Minute
that
here.
close.
Yeah, no worries.
Video, can we go zoom?
Sure thing.
Oh, I think this is one that starts with a W.
It doesn't start with a W.
Okay, how about a... oh, no, this is a Chrysogorgia.
You're right. Good job.
Wow, Adam, you are getting good at your
I've done this enough that some things stick, very few things.
Do
brush.
Do you know what's in the coral?
It's okay.
In
Take
the
your time.
coral.
Do you see anything in
I'm
there?
gonna go a little
an
bit wider
associate?
for you.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't see an associate, but...
Is it a brittle star? No.
I think there might be a brittle star, but there's a squat lobster hanging out in the branches of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of these miniature squat lobsters you were telling us about?
Yeah, well,
Previously?
I mean, they're all small, but yeah, these ones are smaller.
Trying to get a good shot of it.
Likely in the genus Europtychus, they are often found in pairs in the branches of these Chrysogorgia.
Oh,
you see?
like
You
a
see the
good
little
story.
claws?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Chris and I are very used to seeing squat lobsters that are bigger and white, like around deep sea hydrothermal vents.
Yeah, those are the Munidopsis. Those
Yeah.
guys are big. But yeah, the Europtychus are quite fun.
I didn't realize they were unusually large, the ones around the vents. I guess because that's the only kind I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I just thought that was normal.
I mean, they come in many sizes, but yeah, those deep ones are quite large.
How are they related to the lobsters we know from food?
Oh, well, have you ever had langostino?
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Ah.
Right. Get ahead of
And what about that blue lobster that's in Hawaii?
Oh, the spiny lobster?
Yeah.
Those are completely different
Okay.
things. Or your main lobsters, those are different. The lobster part of squat lobster is just referring to the way the tail is tucked under the body. And not like a crab where it's reduced in form.
Yeah, okay.
So it's purely a morphology thing, nothing to do
Yeah,
with genetics or anything?
Common names are mainly morphologically based.
Right.
And
Taxonomy, I
what
guess,
people think it looks like. So whoever coined the term squat lobster was like, yeah, it's like a lobster, but it's like kind of small, kind of half
Like a lobster,
size.
only different.
Exactly.
So we had Drew Downs from the Hawaii Volcanoes Observatory chime in that the earthquake swarm in 2022 was definitely related to fluid or magma movement. So that's pretty exciting.
Is that a rock?
That's a rock.
Oh, wow. Okay, the color got me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
It's like a giant toad.
It's a nice rock.
It is a nice rock.
They're all nice.
Where is Drew
I thought
based,
it was a
Adam?
pile of chain.
He's in Hilo.
That would be
Oh, okay.
At the Hawaii Volcanoes Observatory.
Ah, okay.
Hey,
So
Adam,
they-
I have a question here coming. Are the islands really sinking? Many people on this island are concerned.
Oh, yes. They are sinking, but they're not. It's not something that people need to be concerned about within their lifetime. But basically,
take thousands of years.
Thousands of years,
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds and thousands. Yeah, Falungwai, hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah. So you look at the
concerned
islands in Hawaii, right, and they kind of sink down until they're atolls and then they're submerged seamounts, and that's over, thousands of miles that takes as the plate moves across the hotspot.
Yeah, it's different there. In Hawaii, the National Marine Sanctuary there is all to the north and west of the islands, and that's like the really oldest islands that have like lived their life and are now like subsiding. So we call it subsiding, which is different from sinking just because it's real slow. Here the Marine Sanctuary is actually at the fun end of the islands instead, where Wailuulu'u is, and we have an active volcano that in Hawaii there's an active volcano like that, which is just south of the Big Island. So that's a similar setting to Wailuulu'u, but the
I love that there's a fun end to the islands.
Absolutely.
And it's different for different people because
which end is fun?
Yeah, for the deep sea biologists, the older islands are the fun end.
Well, unless you're Santiago, who's interested about how animals are coming to live on the on the geologically fun end. There we go. We'll specify the geologically exciting end, where anything could happen.
Well, my thesis research was based on the lava flows on the Big Island of Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the different age lava flows and comparing the coral communities that were growing on each lava flow to better understand how these communities develop and change over time.
Right.
Yeah, I read Megan's papers before I met her because I was working on very young seafloor, related to this 2018 eruption, and so I was like, she knows what's important.
Yeah. She knows where the fun end is.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Of the island chain. We actually had, Megan, Adam and I had the first dive in 2018 that anyone allowed after the ocean entry ended. And when we went in there, we actually found some transient hydrothermal activity in those brand new lava flows.
Oh, nice.
We had a colleague, Julie Huber, was part of the program. So she and her lab have been working on the microbiology and the fluid chemistry of what was coming out. But they were lava flows. I think the last ocean entry had been that as we drove past with Nautilus, we were doing some mapping for Adam, who was ashore. And then we went off and did our own dive program.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 days later we could go and have our first dive.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And it was so weird on the seafloor. I remember Adam asking me from shore, it was like, are you sure you're in the right place? And I had to walk out the back of the control van and I could hear the waves breaking on the shore. And it was like, no, we are actually, we really are that close to shore. We are right where the stuff is.
Nav, can we have a reset?
Yep. It's a strange shrimp. I think it's a glyphocrangon type shrimp.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
They
Easy
often
mistake to
perch
make.
on, they often perch on the bottom. They're kind of a strange looking shrimp.
It looks like partially cooked.
It does look partially cooked. Still alive.
I'm going to push in just a little bit if that's okay, pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the front end of the body. It looks compressed, yeah.
So, Adam, another question. Programmatic. I know you said we have a long way to go on this dive.
I've never seen that one before.
As we're driving over this terrain,
zoom out
do you
video.
want to go all the way to waypoint 2, or do you prefer to cut the corner and...
I think it's a glyphocrangon.
Oh, yeah, it's fine to cut the corner.
Cut the corner.
Waypoints are a guide.
Okay. Megan,
Yes.
could you zoom out on the HiPAC screen for me for a moment?
Is that better?
Yeah. Now you see the ridge that's between waypoint 2 and waypoint 3. Can you see, like, if you connect waypoint 2 and waypoint 3, there's like a feature running down there, a bit like the one we just came over? Yeah. Could we, like, make a heading like 135 to intercept that and put in a new, like, waypoint 2.5?
Okay, yeah.
Near those crosshairs. You see the crosshairs in the screen?
You want to go straight here?
No. If you go south of that, you see where the crosshairs are in the grid?
Oh, like right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Let's
can
do
head
that. We'll go there and then turn south from there to waypoint 3. How's
Sounds
that?
great, yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have a new heading?
Yeah, we're going to change to 140.
Okay, 140 it is.
Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to bring Atalanta's heading around to 140.
Yeah, I'm going to come around to
and that'll give you a hint as to what your travel needs to look like.
Okay.
And what is the reason you're cutting the corner? Just, it doesn't look like there's interesting stuff in this direction, or?
I have 140 now.
Yeah, if we looked...
Okay.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye, Adam.
So if we look at the geological map that we have to refer to, we've gone over one of those mounds, and what we weren't sure about was whether there would just be something interesting geologically just along that crease on the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Or whether that would be a transition from one thing to another. So it looks like we've transitioned from one thing to another, and now this is all staying pretty much the same geologically.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any rocks for much biology to live on. And we know as we go further south, the terrain's going to get steeper, should be more interesting for both geology and biology. So
there's no value in going straight.
Less value.
Less value.
Yeah.
Less value.
I think it's when we have to be conscious that weather might turn against us at any time, then optimizing how much time we have at the top end of the dive where we expect more fun is, we have to have the fun end of the dive as well as the fun end of the islands.
That sounds good. What's that small orange thing?
Yeah. I don't know.
Top right?
Yes.
Top right
by...
Top right?
Right above the basket.
Yeah, no.
I didn't see any top.
Oh, there's something just above the center left of the basket now.
Yeah, I meant top right screen
rather
than
top
right
of
the
camera.
screen. Yeah.
All right, you want to zoom video?
Going in for zoom.
Let's see if I can get you centered a bit more.
I'll go slow for you so you can
do
what you gotta do.
I'm not quite sure what... Is it just a piece of rock?
No.
I feel like it should be a live thing. Maybe
like
it's a tiny anemone.
Is it an anemone turned on its side and we've just seen the stalk without the...
Sorry.
There's also a small sponge to the left as well.
Oh, that's a sea cucumber.
Oh, a sea cucumber.
Yeah. Like, if they're kind of pink, they tend to be cucumbers.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's a tiny anemone on a pebble.
Oh.
On the side.
All right, zoom out video.
Good spot, though.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
There is a lot of stuff here. It just, a lot of the stuff is very small. Like, if we were able to, like, scoop up the sediment and look at it, there would be so many things in here.
It's sort of camouflaged, some of it.
Lots of worms and other types of invertebrates live in the sand.
Right, because all this mottling you see, the dark and light colors, will be there purely because the sediment's getting stirred up by life. But that life's hanging out somewhere where it can't get eaten.
Yep.
It likes being alive.
Another little fish.
Oh, look at those little white circular patterns there. But each one of those has a little thing comes out of it and goes back in again.
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like a worm?
Probably.
Oh, cool.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Exactly.
Right, how are you finding driving Herc for the first time?
It's good. It's, it's a lot of brain
it's intense,
power.
Right? Yeah.
And we're just going on a flat surface, so
Is that an eel or a halosaur?
Yeah, I'm just gonna back
Don't
into
know.
it. I'm
Because we can
determined
also
to
get
get a good
different
zoom,
types
though.
of eels at this depth. We could see
Alright, wanna zoom video?
ophidids or
Zoom it in?
congrids.
That's a fish.
Yeah.
Oh, is that one of those guys with that you were telling us about earlier?
Yeah, I
Same
think
one
this
with
is an eel.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
its tail's moving the same as.
Oh.
it's
Yeah,
doing
well,
that
I
same
mean,
thing of-
they look very similar.
Alright, zoom out.
But the other one was the one that had like the fins like
Yeah,
wings
so
that
like
point upwards.
the halosaur has the super duckbill compressed face.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the eels will be a little more pointy arrow face.
But
So
what
probably
if it was an
family
eel?
Congridae.
What if it was an eel taking a selfie?
Well,
It might do the
then
duck
it
face,
might have
right?
a duck face. I don't know that's not in anymore though.
I've heard 0.5 selfies are really in right now, Megan, so
Okay.
could be a 0.5.
What's a 0.5?
It's just a super wide angle on all the new
Oh, the
iPhones,
0.5
yeah.
zoom.
Those are so in, I'm guilty of it.
There's another little fish.
Yeah, I'm just a little close to...
This is like prime real estate for eels and rat-tail fish. Bridge nav. Oh, there's a thing.
Yeah, do you want to look at it, or?
Yeah, let's go look at that.
Okay.
Hey, Paul, can we do another 30 meters, 140? Thank you.
You wanted to look at the little white
Yeah, the little
guy,
white
right?
thing.
Just gonna...
I think it might have been a sea pen.
And Mary, we haven't talked yet on this watch about what we're doing with the eDNA sampler.
So it's currently acquiring
There it is. Oh, it's a
transect
sponge.
sample.
Okay, let's look at him.
Yeah, it's the catcher mitt sponge.
Oh, cool.
Alright, let's... you want to see him from kind of the front?
Oh, this angle is great.
Alright.
Yeah.
And there's a red thing on the
Wanna
left.
zoom
Oh,
video?
it's a
Is
shrimp.
the shrimp wandering by?
Atalanta's looking straight down right now,
Yeah,
just for reference.
and I'm watching
Yeah, you're good.
that.
Oh, and then there's a worm. Little
Dancing
worm.
around.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright.
Great. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Time to scoot ahead, huh?
Those are called Sericolophus. They're a type of ferronematid sponge.
So with the eDNA sampler,
Yeah.
we have 8 standard bottles that will just fire, standard filters that will fire one after each other through the dive. The depth gradient is apparently less of a priority this dive than the last one. And then we have 4 discretionary filters that we can also continue using as like regular time gradient filters if we need more time. And
Or if we find somewhere that's really super abundant with life, we can hang out there and...
So with the 4 discretionary ones, they're ones we can use if we find somewhere really interesting. We can pause the standard gradient one, take a discretionary one, and then restart the standard one when we left.
Okay.
But then if we get to the end of having filled the regular dive progress
and we're
ones
still
and we
going,
haven't filled the discretionary ones
then we
yet,
start stealing from the discretionary stash.
and then we also have, I think, 5 Niskins that are good to fire this dive.
Okay.
And if
but
we
only have a left arm.
We have 2. We can do 2.
We have 2 Niskins. Okay,
Yeah.
so apparently the...
If Gabby can do it, right?
I
remember that. That's
I
the
am
thing,
not
right?
so
you challenge
proficient
your
with this
pilot.
arm.
You challenge your pilot to see whether they can
Yeah,
do something. Isn't that
exactly.
what somebody in the front seat said last watch?
Yeah, here we go.
Well, if it's possible...
Have to eat my words.
Yeah.
If it's possible, we can fire... Say we come across something that it's like a very specific, isolated, cool thing that's not like in a big, rich area. We can fire a Niskin right next to that, rather than fire one of the discretionary
okay. We
filters.
nudge right up against it.
Burrows, yeah.
Boom. We got a
Let's look at that
sample.
little
It's got a
orange
ton
guy.
of eDNA.
He's a
So As far as I'm aware, that is
Okay.
the plan for this dive. And then I'll be turning it on and off if we get any sediment and when we fill up each filter.
Anybody home in that little hole?
Oh, what's the orange thing?
I'll go a little bit tighter for you. Just real
There's
slow.
a little squat
Is that-
lobster.
Aw, he's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah. Don't oppress that squat lobster.
Yeah, and there's also
there's
a
little- is that a
candelid shrimp as
Okay.
well. Yeah, so.
I was ready to say shrimp, but
Yeah, there's shrimp on the sediment. There's a little squat lobster in a burrow.
All right, zoom out.
I think this goes back to your point, Megan, that if you zoomed in and drove the whole way on zoom, we'd see all kinds of stuff, right?
All kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Everything seems smaller here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the substrate is smaller. We usually see big things where we have lots of hard substrate. But this is also a weird depth that doesn't get explored very often. Oftentimes when we do these types of explorations, we're going, let's go as deep as we can go. Or if we're exploring from the surface, snorkeling and diving, we're only getting the top layer of the ocean. The 700 meter mark is not very well explored. It's like this kind of strange mesophotic area that doesn't get a lot of exploration.
And that's why we're here.
And that's why we're here.
Is that a fish?
Wanna look at that thing?
Oh, there's a fish.
Oh, there's
wow,
a
that's
fish.
a big one.
Yeah, yeah. So there are big things over here. They're hunting these little things. A lot of fish will use these sandy areas as hunting grounds. And that fish might come back around.
This yellow thing in the top.
There's a something dark red, like the top left corner.
Yeah.
Oh, remember,
one of the
you've got
shrimp.
your telestrator. You can help us out when you see stuff.
I need to find the little magic pen. I keep forgetting I have this as a new toy. I've never had this to play with.
Lovely.
All right. Looking.
Okay, then
Great,
I shall
Snap.
say, what's that?
Yeah. It's a pencil. That's my guess. Taking bets.
It's got a
Gonna
pink
zoom
thing
in
beyond it to the right.
Might be some more little
Try to look
anemones
at
on a
what this
pebble.
is.
It could be
That's-
like a scaphopod shell.
That's, you see up to the right, just going off screen?
Yeah.
That's two tiny little anemones over
I don't
there.
know what that is.
I don't know. It's not alive.
All right, zoom out a bit, video. And then
If
I'll
you
look
go
at the other
half
one.
zoom.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
So
Look at
the
that.
thing that I'm looking at right now
Yeah.
is there's a little blip coming up on sonar.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Okay.
I just want to just give you another little insight. So there's a blip of something interesting coming up on sonar.
Yeah.
Now we can see the top of it, so we know it's not a big cliff.
Okay.
But say it did look like a bit of a cliff. A good thing to do is to get yourself, you can keep on moving.
Yeah, okay. Zoom out video.
Yep. A good thing to do is to get yourself way out in front so that you have more time to deal with any unknowns that
Okay.
it presents.
Right. Because Atalanta is at the ship's mercy, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And that's like 30 meters out, that feature?
Yeah,
Gabby?
it looks like 30 meters.
So that, Megan, I should have asked this a long time ago. What's the spacing on the squares on the navigation grid? Are they 50 meter boxes or 100 meter?
The lines
Yep.
are 10 meter changes in elevation.
Yeah, no, I meant the
then
north, south, and east, west grids.
The grids,
I think he's looking at DV on
think
that.
are maybe a 2 kilometers? No, maybe a kilometer.
No.
No, I don't know. Here,
On
let me just
DV on
measure.
nav, they're
Okay.
10.
Yeah, I set them as 10.
Okay.
This looks like 500 meters.
Oh, wow.
Or
Okay.
450.
Okay.
So yeah, even if it's not something that's like a cliff, but you want a lot of time to explore it and don't want to stop the ship, getting out in front gives you more zooms and more, like, when we have the arm sampling time.
Yeah.
I think what it might be, Gabby, is as we're driving towards that feature that Adam was interested in, I think the contours, there's a bend in the contours, so it's going to be more like we're directly uphill as we stay on the same heading.
Yeah,
so
it could be
that might
nothing.
be what it is.
Yeah,
it could just be the sonar is just
a direct reflection from the sonars.
Yeah, it could just be the sediment is more uphill, is straight ahead for the first time.
Yeah, it's the first time we're looking at it perpendicularly. Yep, I got it. That's a good insight.
Perhaps. But if we suddenly slam into a cliff, don't quote me.
Yeah.
Continue your vigilance. Don't make you too relaxed. But there's a reason why this might be just fine.
No, that's a great interpretation. Interpreting sonars is like a bit of an art.
The last expedition I was on was last year when we did the Hawaiian seamounts expedition. So we were flying next to a wall like 90% of the time, like out like a massive
yeah, those are really fun.
Island height wall.
There's a lot of that up in the monument, especially at this depth.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had overhangs too, which
was
fun.
It's really challenging.
Can we zoom? Can you see this? Can we have a look at this little thing here?
I'm stopped here for a second.
That looks a lot bigger than any of the other burrows and things we've seen. Nobody home, nothing going on. Oh well. Okay, thank you.
All right, zoom out video. Thank you. Video, am I talking too quietly?
No, you're good.
Okay.
See the feature.
Yeah, ridges.
Whoa.
No, I wonder.
Do you want to stop the ship?
What is this? Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that interesting. Oh, there's a cool sea cucumber.
Yeah.
it's weird.